Alright guys, welcome back to OTL StarCraft. I am Easy StarCraft aka Pikachu cast team for another ladder match between oTLTRO versus VP Street. Now Clan VP is also a pretty good team on the North American server, so I'm pretty excited about this game, even though there's no what you call big names player in it. This is Troll trying to kind of adapt and incorporate Spanish War's Zerg playstyle into his gameplay. I'm really interested to see what his opinion about Spanish War's gameplay. For those of you who do not know or didn't know too much about how Spanish War plays Zerg, is that he relies on a really solid defensive play style and get to high tag really fast. So how does he do that? Well, in the early game he doesn't really get gas. He get gas like about 40 food. How he reached to this conclusion is that he want to really concentrate. I did a little interview with Spanish War actually. So what Spanish War at first he just really want to rely on mineral as resource and want to see how far he can go without getting gas, and with trials and error against both Protoss players and Cross player and Terran players, the conclusion is about like 30 something drones, so that's like 40 food for Zerg with no gas. 4 queens is minimum actually, and several surviving crawler. Because you did not get gas at all, your income is going to be so good in terms of mineral, and you just have the extra money to put down extra defense such as Queen and Spine Crawler. You can just spine up the front, and there's nothing that the Terran and Pros can do can really pressure you. And then you after you get your speed halfway, or actually, well, you take after you have several queens, you get the 4 gas really fast and tech right to Infestor. Sometimes Baneling and really roaches, but Spanish War still go roaches once in a while. But the most important thing is you get Infestor really fast and use Infestor and occasionally Hive Tech, which is Brewlord and Ultralisk, to be the solid backbone of your army. How do you tech to Hive Tech without being overwhelmed or pressured in mid game? Usually, Spanish War try to do some speed Zergling drop, or Zergling drops, or even Nidus, to keep his opponent in his base, abusing the mobility of Speedling and Nidus to really keep the Terran or Protoss player not putting pressure back. So that's generally how you executed a Spanish War play, which is really smart, and it's such a phenomenal play style that a lot of players on the ladder are starting to adapt and learning how to deal with this kind of play, because it's so good. Like Roach, what Spanish War said about Roach and Hydra composition is that it feels delicate. It feels like, okay, if I screwed up, if I engaged in the wrong position, I'm dead as hell. But with this kind of defense, which is a lot of queens and spine crawler and no gas, you just have so much stuff to defend. Anytime you are not doing teching stuff, you just have more stuff in general to fend off any kind of aggression, which is the solid concept, the very fundamental concept for this kind of play. You just rely on a lot of stuff in the mid game. Putting down a 3rd spine crawler, usually you can't really afford it. However, if you are not getting gas at all, you can, and you can do so really well. Able to fend off any type of aggression the Terran player right now is putting down a command center as well as starting the pre-igniter upgrade, almost finishing the pre-igniter upgrade. However, if enough queens on the field, they can really wall off this bottom ramp and use all those Spinecrawler to defend against against whatever number of Hellion that is about to come. So Hellion's coming in, trying to do some damage. Of course, when you saw 4 Spinecrawler in the front, you don't really want to rush in unless you can run past the queen, which is really hard at this point with the creep tumor covering both the natural and the expansion. This is just looking so safe for oTLTRO. However, one problem with Spanish route play is that you can't really put on any pressure back. Like right now, his speeding is just started. His speed is just started. Anytime you don't get gas for a Zerg player, you can't really put on any pressure, such as Baneling, Roaches, or Speedling, or Mura. Those are all forms of aggression, all sort of pressure that you can put on the Terran player. However, if you do not have gas, there is nothing that you can do to really pressure the Terran. And if Terran take a early second, early expo, or even a early third, there is no room for you to punish that. And if you can't punish that, and both players just go macro directly, you're not getting much of a advantage. So that's basically the cons and pro for this style of play. However, we can see oTL right now just getting so many drones. Oh my god, look at the drone count. He is ahead by 10 worker at this point of the game, which is so good. VP Street trying to get all the siege tank numbers up and building all those turns. However, he does not know that the opponent is going for a Spanish style. Actually he should. There's not much scouting done by the Terran player, which is not so good. You usually want to see if that Mura is indeed coming. Putting down blind defenses like this is not too bad because you can really never tell, but if you scout the front, you should be able to tell that the opponent is indeed going for this type of play. Putting down a third hatchery on this direction, I would say this is really vulnerable. Any type of swing around by drops or tanks or just army in general really leaves this hatchery really vulnerable, I guess. Putting down all those creep tumor, that's the benefits of getting such a early mass number of queen, able to put down all those creep tumor and use transfusions later on, save up those energies and able to let you defend really safe. When you have a certain number of queen, you can just transfuse and those queens just never die. 3 queens in the front, Zergling trying to surround all those Hellions. However, it does not seem to be like it. All the tank number are coming in. This is looking pretty scary for oTLTRO right now. However, he does have 22 Banelings on the way. Speed almost done. Waiting for that speed. Not too impatient. Really patient in the back. Waiting for the tank to slowly crawl on his creep tumors. Wow, all the creep tumors getting killed by the siege tank. This is looking really scary for the cross player. For the Zerg player, he needs to do something to swing around the back. Wow, all those speeding are so important for this type of play. Anytime you are dealing with a slow but immobile army, you want to do this kind of attack to kind of slow down all of the reinforcement and try to get the Terran army off guard. It's looking really scary for for Zerg. Not too long ago, however, he is using all these really mobile army to do counter attack, which is the exact thing he needed to do.